Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have to say this latest General Hospital preview immediately caught my attention because it feels like one of those storylines where every second matters. The moment I saw the clues being laid out, I couldn't shake the feeling that Britt and Rocco may be running out of time faster than anyone realizes. Sometimes on this show, we expect the heroes to arrive at the last possible moment and save the day, but every now and then, the writers remind us that danger can move just as quickly. Right now, I can't help thinking that Cullum may be closer to finding them than Dante, Lulu, or anyone else. What really stood out to me was Lulu's conversation with Laura. There was genuine urgency in Lulu's voice when she insisted that Dante needed to reach Rocco before Cullum did. As a parent, that kind of fear hits differently. It wasn't just concern, it sounded like a mother who knows that if the wrong person gets there first, everything could fall apart in an instant. Those scenes gave me the impression that the clock is ticking and nobody has much room left for mistakes. The weekly promo seemed to reinforce that feeling. While Lulu was speaking, viewers were shown Rocco sitting alone in his cabin. The young man looked exhausted, worried, and emotionally drained after everything he has been through. I found that scene particularly powerful because it highlighted just how vulnerable Rocco really is right now. He's far away from home, separated from his parents, and relying heavily on Britt to keep him safe. That kind of isolation creates the perfect opportunity for a villain like Cullum to strike. Then came the moment that really made me nervous. Britt walks into the cabin and appears completely stunned by what she sees. The look of shock on her face didn't seem accidental. In my experience watching soap operas, especially General Hospital, reactions like that are often designed to foreshadow something dangerous. It felt less like she discovered an unexpected visitor and more like she came face to face with a threat she never expected to see so soon. Honestly, if Cullum is standing in that cabin, the situation could become extremely dangerous almost immediately. This isn't a man who has shown mercy in the past. Everything we've learned about him suggests that he is calculating, ruthless, and always thinking several steps ahead of everyone else. That's what makes him such a compelling villain. He doesn't simply chase his targets. He studies them, predicts their moves, and then appears when they least expect it. If he has tracked Britt and Rocco all the way to their Caribbean safe haven, that would prove he is far more resourceful than many characters realize. What makes this possibility even more troubling is that Britt is unlikely to back down. I've watched this character for years, and one thing that has always stood out to me is her willingness to protect the people she cares about, even when it puts her own life at risk. If Cullum threatens Rocco, I can easily imagine Britt placing herself directly in harm's way. In fact, I think that's exactly what many fans are worried about right now. Britt has already survived so much, and it would be heartbreaking to see her forced into another life or death confrontation. At the same time, we can't ignore the information that Nathan West, also known as Cassius Faison, recently shared with Dante and Lulu. Thanks to information passed along from Charlotte and Danny, Rocco's parents finally have a legitimate lead. Under normal circumstances, I would feel optimistic about their chances. Dante is determined, Lulu is relentless when it comes to protecting her son, and both of them have every reason to fight their way to Rocco as quickly as possible. However, this is where I think the writers may have something bigger planned. Soap operas thrive on near misses and painful timing. How many times have we seen characters arrive just moments too late? That's why I keep coming back to Cullum. The promo seems almost designed to make viewers wonder whether he will get there first. If he does, the emotional fallout could be enormous. Dante and Lulu would be forced to confront the possibility that they were only minutes away from preventing a disaster. Another detail that fascinates me is the choice to place Britt and Rocco in what was supposed to be a secure hiding place. A safe house only works if nobody knows where it is. The moment a villain discovers that location, the entire situation changes. Suddenly, the place that once represented safety becomes a trap. That's exactly the feeling I get from these previews. The Caribbean hideout no longer feels secure. Instead, it feels like the stage for a major confrontation that could change the course of several storylines. The more I think about it, the more I believe Britt may be the key to everything that happens next. Yes, Rocco is the person everyone is trying to protect, but Britt is the one standing between him and whatever danger is coming. She may end up making a split-second decision that determines whether they escape or fall directly into Cullum's hands. Those are the kinds of moments General Hospital does. Best ordinary people facing impossible choices with everything on the line. I also find myself wondering whether the writers are using this storyline to elevate Cullum into a much bigger threat moving forward. If he successfully finds Britt and Rocco before anyone else, it would instantly establish him as one of the most dangerous figures in the current canvas. Villains become memorable when they consistently stay one step ahead of the heroes, and this could be the moment that proves Cullum belongs in that category. For now, I think viewers should prepare themselves for a tense and emotional week. The clues seem to be pointing toward a dramatic showdown, and I wouldn't be surprised if the rescue mission becomes far more complicated than anyone expects. Deep down, I'm still hoping Dante and Lulu reach their son in time. But after watching that promo, I have a feeling that Britt and Rocco may come face to face with Ross Cullum before help arrives. And if that happens, all bets are off. As we like to say down here in America, that could be where the rubber meets the road. Still, the more I think about it, the harder it is for me to ignore the growing threat hanging over Britt. General Hospital has been steadily building tension around Ross Cullum for weeks now, and it feels like the story is moving toward a major confrontation. While Rocco may be worried about being found by his parents, Britt has much bigger problems looming over her head. She has enemies actively searching for her, and one of them happens to have tremendous resources at his disposal. That's why I keep coming back to Cullum. This is not someone who relies on luck. The man has repeatedly shown that he is observant, patient, and far more intelligent than many people give him credit for. In fact, one of the reasons I find him so dangerous is that he often uncovers the truth through the smallest details. Just look at how he figured out that Rocco was the one who shot him. He didn't need a dramatic confession or a mountain of evidence. Simply overhearing the right conversation was enough for him to put the pieces together. When a character possesses that level of cunning, it becomes difficult to believe that a secret location can remain hidden forever. If Nathan, Dante, Lulu, or anyone else starts discussing clues about Rocco's whereabouts, there is always the possibility that Cullum will hear something he shouldn't. That's what makes this storyline so suspenseful. The danger isn't just coming from a direct attack. It could come from a simple mistake, a loose conversation, or a piece of information falling into the wrong hands. And let's not forget that Cullum's motivation is deeply personal. This is no longer about business, WSB operations, or professional rivalries. The man wants revenge. He has never forgotten being shot by Rocco, and he clearly blames Britt for abandoning both him and Jen Sidwell during the Cold Fusion project. From his perspective, he has scores to settle with both of them. What worries me most is that revenge tends to make people reckless. Cullum already made his intentions clear when he openly talked about eliminating both Britt and Rocco once he found them. Those weren't empty threats. They felt like promises. If he discovers their Caribbean hideout, he suddenly gets the opportunity to accomplish everything he wants in one move. As the old saying goes, he could kill two birds with one stone. He could punish Britt for what he views as betrayal, while also settling his vendetta against Rocco at the same time. In the end, my feeling is that Cullum may very well be the first person to locate Britt and Rocco. The clues seem to be pointing in that direction, and his determination for revenge makes him an especially dangerous threat. However, I also suspect that Dante and Lulu won't be far behind. If that's the case, viewers may be headed toward an explosive showdown where Britt and Rocco's fate hangs in the balance until the very last moment. One thing is certain, this storyline feels like it's building toward a major turning point, and I know I'll be watching closely to see who reaches that Caribbean hideout first.